Since we're going to be talking about the joyous consumeristic time of year, do you get anything fun for Cyber Monday or Black Friday?
No, because I don't do shit like that. I have everything I need.
That's not the point.
Yeah. And so just spend money for the sake of spending money.
The whole Christmas season is stupid.
Agreed.
I did get a backbone.
A backbone? Mm-hmm. What's that?
It's like this thing that you put into your phone, and it's like a PlayStation controller.
Oh, okay.
PS remote from your phone.
Yeah.
And it was a deal, and I was like, I've always wanted to kind of fuck around with one, so.
Fair, yeah.
I was like, all right, sure.
See, you buy it, I'll play around with it, and then I'd have money.
I'm the stupid. But no, other than that, I didn't really. Got one gift.
One gift?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's one thing is like I can see using like Cyber Monday or Black Friday for like buying gifts for people.
Yeah.
And I just don't have the foresight for that.
Yeah, I use it, and then obviously I use it for any of that for something like a big purchase, like nice pair of headphones, you know.
Yeah.
I usually this is really loose. I don't want it to. But
how loose is a goose? Sorry. Buffy.
Okay, yeah, I was like, why is that?
Fallon and I are the only ones that ever fucking bring it up. So she knows the entire cheer, doesn't she?
I'm sure.
Yeah, no, she does. Yeah.
You do know that perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to be.
How funky is your chicken? How loose is your goose? Loose is your goose.
So my cold open went a completely different way than I thought it was going to.
You said loose, and my mind went somewhere else, man.
Alrighty, this is Tommy.
It's Jake.
This is
Tommy Jacobs mixtape. Get to the chopper now. Not to reindeer. I am Turbo Man.
I don't know why I just now started thinking of like him in a Christmas movie where he's actually Santa.
Like old man Santa.
Well, not even that.
That's Mel Gibson's movie, bro.
No, that movie is interesting. No, but like, because he is this old ancient saint that's been around forever, but then he like has kind of lost touch. And I just imagine like older Arnold going up to like, ho, 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 and just scaring the shit out of the children.
Ho, ho, ho.
What do you want for Christmas?
Here is a present for you.
This is my cookie.
Our Arnolds have gone downhill. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Our bad Arnold and Schwarzenegger impersonations. If you didn't look at the name of the title and you can't figure it out, we are doing this week Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Woo.
Dude, fuck, this movie's awesome.
Okay.
You're going to shit all over it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, maybe you can make me a believer.
Okay, I fucking will. Are you ready?
Make my heart this big for it.
What is it? Grow 3 times 2, 3 sizes.
It's 3 sizes too small.
Yeah, it's 3 sizes.
Just down a size and a half. And this time, I'll keep it off.
Okay, all right. So
you
yeah,
can never do that movie.
No, you would just be quoting it the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. Continuing on with our holiday block, this one is our family, or no, not kids movie-ish.
Yeah, because we did like...
I mean, it's technically a family movie. It's like for the family to watch together. Last week was the dysfunctional family.
For the family to watch together if you want to cause them issues.
Or be like, that's you, Mom.
You want to bring out some shit.
That's what you sound like. Crawl on that cross.
Can you believe this woman? And you just sit there like,
But yeah, so Jingle All the Way. It came out November 16th, 1996. Well, that was the premiere.
At the Mall of America.
Which makes sense.
It was shot, some of it was shot there too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of this, this is like technically set in Minneapolis, Twin Cities, like that whole area. St. Paul, Minnesota, and whatnot, where Marshall's from.
Our good friend Marshall. Yep.
Hey.
Yeah. And then wide release November 22nd of 96. What I thought was kind of crazy, this movie was only shot in 6.5 months. I was like, wow.
That's a long shoot for a movie like this, I feel.
I don't.
Minus
think so.
like the caliber of like, you know, like the parade and all that stuff, which I read that took a long time to film and whatnot. But for more of this just kind of being like it's like a slapstick comedy.
Yeah, no, I still don't. I feel like it feels like it.
Or maybe like 4 to 6 months. That sounds normal to me.
Doesn't sound normal to me.
Well, how long do you think a regular filming process goes?
I'd say 8 months to a year.
On big blockbusters.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a Schwarzenegger movie with a budget of $75 million.
I think a lot of that budget's going in his pocket.
And it feels like it. That's my point.
For like, I mean, like, it's not like a drama that's going to take like, you know, 3 to 4 months. Like, it is a little bit, I feel like 6 months is about average for something like this.
Agree to disagree. I just feel like it's a very short amount of time. But even...
Well, think about all the scenes. Like, it's not that hard to film a lot of this.
No, but getting it all together with, like you said, the parade, even the costumes too.
But I mean, a lot of that parade can be filmed while they're filming other stuff. That's like why there's the bee unit and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that 6.5 months doesn't feel like a long time.
Well, cool. 1996. How many? Oh, do you want to give us a synopsis real quick of Jingle All the Way?
Yeah. A man ignores and forgets his family on Christmas Eve in the search of the hottest toy of the year.
Does he really ignore? I think he just neglects.
I feel like you're kind of splitting hairs there, but
kind of. Well, I mean, he's very aware of what he's supposed to be doing, so he's not ignoring it. He's like neglecting it.
Well, it all happens because he was ignoring, neglecting what his wife was saying.
He is acknowledging that he is late and running late. He's just not making the wrong choice.
To not change the behavior.
Yeah.
It's that 90s era of the, like...
Oh, this is Tim Allen at the beginning of the Santa Claus.
Yeah, the 90s absentee working dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, okay. So 1996, I wrote 40 plus.
For what?
The movies you saw?
Oh, I wrote 37.
Okay. This again,
which makes sense.
I kind of want to off camera, off everything last year, like we did last week. I would kind of want to go through the list of the top 100 and just see which ones you have seen, and because like there's this year I feel is more than, like I was saying last year, has a lot of movies that I think you would actually kind of like.
Yeah, I know there's a few. It's like, oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple on there that you've probably. I don't know that you may have heard, but I think there's a couple that you probably have no clue of their existence that you might enjoy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so back to Jingle All the Way. Do you have any other thoughts before we move into other stuff?
No.
I mean, I guess, box office wise, it was number 22 for the year.
Yeah.
And coming out at the end of the year, that's pretty impressive. Also, like it was like up against. In its release, I want to say it's like really cool shit. Or there's a lawsuit as well. I was getting behind Star Trek First Contact, Space Jam, and Ransom. That's a weird weekend.
Which one's Ransom again?
That's Mel Gibson's family's being held ransom.
Yeah.
So dumb. Anywho, well. This movie was... we're going to do producer on this one because he has a lot of... Actually, he has more hands into it than, like, the writer does. And, like, him and the director worked very close together. And it was produced by Chris Columbus. And it makes sense that he would be a producer on this. We have done him with The Adventures of Babysitting. He directed Home Alone. He is a producer and directed... Well, he directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies and then was a producer through the first 3.
I always forget about that.
The Harry Potter?
Yeah, that's why it has that
childlike charm.
Feel, you know.
Which makes sense for the first 2 movies really need to be that way.
Oh, yeah. No,
You know?
totally. But it's always just, if you are to watch those back to back, it's just like such a stark like shift in mood.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the third one, you're like, whoa. Okay. Like, here we go.
Yeah. He more or less like found this script, or like, where was it at here? He kind of like, so between the writer, and we might as well just bring them up now because of it, Randy Kornfield, who only has like another writing credit that I saw that stuck out was Eight-Legged Freaks. They only have like 9 like writing credits.
Like 9 or, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, they've sold stories and like scripts to Hollywood pretty much. But like this, a lot of this script was developed and based off of like the big boom of the Cabbage Patch Kid and like the parents rushing to try to buy them at the stores, and how like they got violent.
Like Tickle Me Elmo was like the one around this time.
Yes, so Tickle Me Elmo was coming out around like, I think it came out the holiday season that this came out.
Yeah.
And that had another big craze to it as well. But even like Randy Kornfield in general remembers like it happening with like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like him trying to get a Power Ranger for his kid. And then Chris Columbus even was like, and I can relate to this, trying to get a Buzz Lightyear for my kid a couple years earlier. And just like the mayhem that, you know, follows through like the holiday season, and neglectful parents that forget to buy their kids their fucking presents.
Before anyone gets crazy, that was a joke. It was a joke.
What do you mean it's a joke? I'm very real about that. I'm not calling anybody out.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying. I'm specifically looking at you and being like, "You neglectful piece of shit." Anyways, that's not.
You know who you are. My parents were never like that.
I got a Buzz Lightyear, so
cool.
It's my flex for the day.
Where are we right now?
What
headspace are we in?
And then as an adult, I bought my own Buzz Lightyear.
It's true. And costume. I'm joking. Wait, no, you almost did, didn't you?
I did almost got the blow.
Yeah.
I was like, did I actually end up buying that? I don't think I got Reptar instead.
Yeah, Chris Columbus, he got the script, and that was written by Randy Kornfield, and adapted it and changed it more on his own. So like the writing credit is Randy Kornfield, because they wrote the original screenplay, and then Chris Columbus just kind of took it, and then also like putting Arnold Schwarzenegger on the bill kind of like changed it to that build as well.
It's just crazy also to think about during this time too, that certain names, I mean to this day too, but I mean I really feel like this was also really 90s thing. It's like you could just slap someone's name on there and boom.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna make money off of it. No matter what kind of piece of shit you give out, it didn't matter.
You can do that today still.
As I just said that.
Yeah,
but I just feel like the 90s, because even in a lot of the movie posters,
80s were like that too.
It says Schwarzenegger. That's it.
Yeah,
just him and the kid. It says Schwarzenegger in big red letters across the entire top of it. You know, and it's just like that's pretty crazy. You know, you just. And then there you go. I mean,
Tom Cruise.
It probably helps.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone.
I was gonna say it's probably really helpful if you have a last name like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, like at this time. But
Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal.
You're kind of like, yes, got it. Skip it.
Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, I never kind of put together really how much Chris Columbus does like holiday and stuff like this. Like this is kind of weirdly his bread and butter.
Yeah.
So, and then for director, which I got a really fun quote on for Brian Levant as well, from Wikipedia. Brian Levant also directed Beethoven with the dog. The Flintstones,
which we were just talking about.
I know, and you were talking about you want to get the video game, Super Nintendo cartridge.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we've also talked about it for something else too. John Hughes was the ghostwriter on it.
And we were talking about how it's weird. It's a weird plot.
It's a fucking bonkers plot.
It's like corporate espionage or something that Fred gets framed for. It's really bizarre for what the Flintstones were, and then
no. I thought you were talking about Beethoven still.
Oh no, I was talking about Flintstones. Why we were talking about Flintstones. no, that's what this confusion. I got the Beethoven cartridge.
Oh, that's right.
And then we were talking about Flintstones, because then I was like, do you remember the plot? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, do you remember how fucking weird it was? Because it's like this weird corporate espionage that he gets framed for.
Isn't Halle Berry in that?
Yes. Yes. It's really a weird. And then Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is Barney.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's a really.
Rosie O'Donnell is Betty.
Betty. Who's Wilma?
Big.
Yeah, the mole.
The mole.
Yeah.
She's a mole?
Yeah, she's like a little beauty mark right here.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember her name.
Funny. God, yeah, that'd be a fun trip.
Anywho, let's get back on to, So, Brian Levant, he also directed Christmas Story 2, which came out last year. And I was sitting there, I was like, wow, that was a flash in a pan of like people.
Oh, I have a vague memory of watching
it. Has a 3.5 on AMD.
I really vaguely remember, because I think after that I was like, wow, that's a hot piece of garbage. So then I watched Neil Patrick Harris's
there we go.
80s one.
Yeah. Oh, I still need to watch that.
Really?
I'll watch it this year. Yeah.
Oh man, I think that's gonna give you such a kick of nostalgia.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. All right. And so what's really interesting is like Brian Levant, like this movie did get panned. We'll get into that, but Brian Levant had a really
good reason. Excuse
me. Really interesting thing to say about like because a lot of his films generally get kind of like panned by critics.
Yes.
And so
they're not for critics.
Exactly.
They're for children.
Well, and also so like he also like had an early life like in his early like career he was like a TV writer for 70s TV series like Happy Days. He also has writing credits on The Jeffersons, Mork and Mindy, and Still the Beaver. So I'd like to continue to leave it at Beaver. But this is just really interesting that I found in his Wikipedia. Levant has responded to the criticism with, I'm making movies for the audience that I was when I was sitting at home watching Garfield Goose and the Three Stooges on WGN. To read those reviews is an act of self-flagellation, but reviews be damned when you're at Blockbuster and you're seeing family after family grab one of your movies off the shelf on a Friday night. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. So he's like, yeah.
That was a big dick energy move right there.
Yeah, right? I'm just like, dude, fuck yeah. Good on you. He's like, dude, fuck you, critics. I see the numbers are coming in.
Well, yeah, I mean, it made 129.8 million. So
yeah. And a lot, and that's mainly because of Schwarzenegger's, the draw, and then Chris Columbus just knowing how to create a story like this, and Brian Levant's slapstick style of direction makes really perfect. Makes a lot of sense for him to be like influenced by Three Stooges, Garfield Goose.
I was also kind of thinking about this, and it's one of those I want to bring it up now because I'll do that thing where I'll bring it up later and I'll forget. But even I wonder if people like adults were going into this kind of expecting, because Kindergarten Cop came out like 3 years before this.
Oh, that came out in like 92, so like maybe 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years, something like that.
Maybe 91. It was definitely earlier 90s.
But I wondered if people went in with Schwarzenegger kind of being more of that kind of comedic character, where he was a cop struggling to be a teacher, so he still had the cop mentality. And that's what kind of the long joke was. He starts becoming drill sergeant with them.
Yeah.
But this is like he's the family guy.
He's an ordinary dude.
And I wondered if people were kind of expecting, Kindergarten Cop at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe for some reason. Because
not just Arnold Schwarzenegger being regular dude.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because that was actually what drew Schwarzenegger to it. He's like, oh, yeah, I've never just played an ordinary guy.
But then he does very non-ordinary things.
And that's the thing, is that the script gets into this point where it's getting into a ridiculous world, and it's Schwarzenegger then like become like it's the escalation to reach Schwarzenegger status.
Yeah, the end. Then,
yeah,
yeah. And it just, I think that's kind of when I was watching it, what I was thinking, as I could see a lot of people going in expecting a certain type of Schwarzenegger, and that's probably not.
It's not. This ain't your daddy Schwarzenegger.
No. This is not, one ugly motherfucker.
No. This isn't. I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll still love you.
This is. Do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. We're getting into that. I think that's the next one.
Batman and Robin. Yeah, probably.
I think 97.
Actually,
98.
he probably filmed Batman and Robin before this. Honestly,
Well, I did crack up when the Santa knocks on the door and the passcode is Batman smells.
Yeah.
Robin Lace. I was like,
Jingle bells. Batman smells.
hey.
I actually didn't put that together.
Like, this is his villain origin story. He can't get the toy. Sorry, that's stupid. Anyways, sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, Chris Columbus produced, Brian Levant directed, written by Randy Kornfield. More written, like, developed more by Chris Columbus, and also more developed once Schwarzenegger signed on, and also the more developed once Sinbad signed on. Sinbad was actually chosen mainly, like, they originally wanted, like, Joe Pesci, and due to the size difference, like, they ended up for landing on Sinbad, not because of his improv acting, obviously, but his size and stature matched well with Schwarzenegger.
I didn't realize he was that big.
Right?
Like him standing next to him, I'm like, oh, they're not really that. You know, I mean,
They just kind of look like, though. If you don't have like a perspective of like how big Schwarzenegger is, and you just see those two on screen, you just think they're two average dudes.
I think my dad met him once. It was like
Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 6'5", 6'4",
something like that. When he worked at Universal, I think he was driving around those old go-karts.
Oh, yeah.
And he like waved him down. He like pulled over and he got in the go-kart and he was like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Fucking gorilla next to me.
Like, God.
All right, well,
look at that jawline. Like,
let's keep going on with acting here. I don't think we really need to mention more Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like,
so Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I mean,
who's Arnold Schwarzenegger?
We talked about in episode 48. We did Last Action Hero. I just again didn't realize it was that long ago. He is the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Governator, California.
I forgot that was his nickname.
I don't know, but actually, you want to hear something kind of weird? When I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was either a Mad TV. It feels like more of a Mad TV skit or an SNL skit. Probably Mad TV. But it's when he becomes governor and he's getting older, but he's still trying to be that like action guy. And I just remember so distinctly, he goes to like get something from under the bed for his wife.
I think this was a Will Sasso thing. Yeah.
I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip the mattress, and he goes to do it, and he like
throws his back.
Yeah, throws his back. You remember what I'm talking about?
I know.
I don't know why, but that's one of those like always pops in my head when I think of Arnold for some fucking reason. I don't know. I'm going to. I just like that. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. That over the top accent.
All right. Moving forward, we got our opposite of Schwarzenegger through like the comedy bit of it. Really is Sinbad. Known for being a genie in the movie Shazam. No, it's not a real movie. But I mean, I feel like mostly probably recognized for anybody maybe more as like just a comedian. Like he's a stand-up comedian. Like he's had bit parts in a lot of stuff. Like
Good Burger.
Good Burger.
He's gonna be in the second one, which I was very.
I still need to watch. It's out.
Is it?
It's on Paramount. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That'd be fun.
He's also one movie that I saw that's weird fever dream for me. First Kid.
I remember that one.
Yeah, he's security guard to the president's kid.
The first child. What is there a term for that? Like, the first lady. The first
kid.
First offspring.
First offspring. Sounds like a weird like sacrificial thing.
It's like a Slipknot song.
First kid. Yeah. And then I got coming up next. I got Phil Hartman next.
I love to hate Phil Hartman.
He was
so punchable. Yeah, he passed away in '98.
Yeah.
Also, old school comedian.
Yep, he was an SNL guy.
Old SNL guy.
This was the last movie that came out while he was still alive that he was in.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I always.
Small Soldiers, he was already passed away for.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why it ends with In Loving Memory to Phil.
Oh, I don't know if I ever watched it as an adult to put that together.
I actually watched it the other night.
Is it still good?
It's bonkers.
Yeah, that's a wild movie. You put munitions chips in toys?
No. Dennis, at the end of the movie, Dennis Leary just like every time someone complains and just like a check saying like, and never mind. I'm just like, what is this infinite like budget?
No, and I just love that. Even that, like, just like in this, Phil Hartman is just the most punchable, like,
yeah,
just
sleazy. I love all of the like I don't know if they're single mothers or whatever, like in the neighborhood. Just
All
like,
the mothers want to sleep with him for some reason.
And they're like, there's my porch light isn't working. I was wondering if you could come over and see if you could touch it up or fix it up for me. He's like,
I got the right tool for that.
I got the right tool.
But he
for
just
that.
has that like deadpan, nothing behind the eyes smile. Oh, he's so good. He's so.
But it's like all of these, like all of them are hitting on, and like the one he can't get to is
Obviously the one that he wants the most.
Yeah.
My first Hartman is probably Three Amigos. He has a bit part in that.
Really?
Yeah, he has a bit part. He works for the studio's head executive that fires them. But his whole gig is that whenever he says something, he just randomly picks up a phone out of nowhere and calls some random other line. This just in, take the Amigos' clothes. And then out of nowhere, a bunch of people come and just take their costumes and disappear. And every time he says something, these people just come out of nowhere, and like that's his gig. But I didn't realize it was him until we were doing research.
I mean, that's fair. Like,
I was like, oh, that's.
I never fully could put together that he's a Conehead in Coneheads.
Wait, Andy's in Pagemaster, but which Conehead is he?
He's one of them when they get picked up. Like
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
he's in Pagemaster.
I don't remember him in Pagemaster. I think he's probably just a random voice, honestly.
Yeah, but he had like a full name. He had a first and last name.
Who was the dad?
Senator Keenly from the first X-Men? Is that who it is? No, it's not him.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll go down. We'll go.
Yeah,
down
we're in a little. We need to like run to get through the actors really quick. We're weird. Yeah.
And then Rita Wilson, who plays Liz, who I only saw a lot of 80s TV.
Yeah, I never noticed that. I never realized that.
And then Chum Scrubber, which I still need to watch because I think you've tried to get me to watch that a couple of times.
Yeah. I think you would like it. I can't remember it. I kind of get it confused with what's the really dark one where they
Wrist Cutter's Love Story?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
I could see that just from reading the synopsis.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then also Mixed Nuts, which we were talking about earlier, which I want to add to next year's possibly. That's Steve
totally,
Hartman.
yeah. Sleepless in Seattle, where I don't know, maybe that's where her and Tom Hanks met because she's married to Tom Hanks.
That's what it is. And she's in the remake of Psycho.
Yeah, which I don't
remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And she's also in Now and Then, which is, yeah.
And then for Jake Lloyd, who plays Jamie, I just wrote episode 1.
I wrote Phantom.
Oh, okay. he's the one that brings balance to the Force.
Yippee!
All right.
There's a part of me that actually now feels really bad because he's a horrible actor, a child actor.
Yeah,
but like, you know what? I was just reading.
They kind of all are most of the time.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin was a fucking gem. I was reading his Wikipedia, and I knew he had like legal trouble in the past, and I was like, well, that was born I was, but like, apparently, he's like a paranoid schizophrenic.
What?
Yeah. And he like the end of his Wikipedia page is that like he in 2022 moved back to be closer with his family so they could help him with his paranoid schizophrenia. So like his entire legal path, I'm just like, oh, I feel bad for just saying weird shit about him every once in a while. I mean, I'll still call him a bad child actor because a duck's a duck,
Or is it a duck?
Right. What is it? No, actually, the phrase like you call a spade, whatever.
Hey, it doesn't really matter. A goose is a goose.
But yeah, he's in this, and just man.
Well, it's also just kind of weird how many people are in this.
True, yeah,
especially for our age. Kind of more you.
Well,
on
I mean,
your
like
end.
Jim Belushi as the mall Santa. The little person that he's from, but he's Kramer's.
Danny Woodburn?
That sounds right.
I think Danny Woodburn.
He's like, I think more recognizable for is Kramer's friend in Seinfeld.
I remember him from Watchmen. That's what I always think.
Oh yeah,
he's like the really terrifying scene with Rorschach.
Yeah. And then there's oh yeah, big Santa, big.
Yeah, is that a fucking WD guy?
Yeah,
I just
it's
assumed.
a big show. It's the big show.
I just assumed from
Paul
I'm
White.
gonna deck your halls, bub. I was like, this is for someone, and I think it's my co-host.
No, what was crazy was like I was watching it and I saw his eyes and I'm like, that's fucking Paul White. That's the Big Show. At this time he was known as
and Chris
the Giant.
Parnell. Chris Parnell.
Yeah, early Chris Parnell, voice of Jerry, SNL alum as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you just see like a lot of
Yeah.
people that you've just have seen over the years in the like 80s,
Like the radio
70s,
host.
80s,
The
90s.
radio host is also a.
Martin Mull.
I didn't write it down, so.
Yeah, I think Martin Mull. I think that's. What was he in?
He's in things around. We need to move on to reviews.
Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of funny people from back in the day, from
All around.
all around the place, the places.
Because Chris Columbus knows people.
Fuck yeah, he does. I could probably definitely call in a couple favors.
All right, so this movie doesn't have very high score ratings.
I just see him as like the godfather of like family 90s Christmas movies. You want to work with me? You know, kind of like.
Come sit on Santa's lap.
Come.
So IMDb score is a 5.7, and its tomato meter rating is a 20%, and its audience score is a 39.
All right, so we're into Tommy's corner. This has a 34 Metascore, which is considered generally unfavorable.
Really?
Shocker. Positive, we have 3 at 13%, mixed 7 at 30%, and a whopping 13 for a whopping 57% for the negative. For the toppity top, we have Steve Persali at Tampa Bay Times, who gave it an 83 out of 100.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. I was really like, because then the next one is 63. So I was like,
That feels more like...
but yeah, 83 out of 100. The makers of Jingle All the Way have the nerve to declare what the rest of us only grumbled about, that the superficial reason for the Christmas season is found nestled in your wallet. Schwarzenegger's Ho 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 heroics should have moviegoers gladly tapping into that source for the new year.
Okay. So there were really more... I mean, that is a big thing, is that Columbus wanted to, like, satirize in a way, is the huge, like, capitalistic, consumeristic idea of what this holiday season has turned into. So they were just really into that. And also, what's interesting, they kind of talk about the Schwarzenegger's ho 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 heroics. It's dumb.
I mean, it'd be kind of hard not to do.
Action stars of this caliber can fit very quickly and well into slapstick comedy because they know how to they know how to move their body,
I mean, I get the whole like the satire thing, but I think they kind of lost sight of it along the way. I think there's a little more potential for that, but maybe I don't know. There's a lot of things.
It just the idea of the consumeristic idea of it just dragged too long.
Yeah.
The movie is one note. It's just about a very fun adventure watching this regular dad go through hell and high water to try to get this toy.
Well, we've talked about it before. It's like a lot of the time we watch movies where it's like joke to bit, joke to bit, joke to bit. And it's like, yeah, you may not like that one, but the next two you're like, oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't. The thing that actually made me laugh the most was yesterday when you texted me and you was like, oh, there's a post-credit scene. That's kind of the hardest I laughed, and it wasn't really that hard.
The very end of it. So you laughed at that.
I laughed at that because it's just that, oh no,
Yeah.
like, and it was just kind of like, oh, great, we opened it up for a sequel.
And there is a sequel starring Larry the Cable Guy.
I saw that. For the mixed review, we had Edward Guthman at the San Francisco Chronicle, who gave it 50 out of 100. Jingle wants to warm our hearts and establish Schwarzenegger as a family man, but devotes so much time to goony violence and broad physical comedy that the last real schmaltz feels hollow and tacked on. That was a weird sentence.
But that's also kind of the sentiment that you've already kind of shared.
Yeah.
So
that's really like kind of led to, like, I wrote that.
yeah.
And then I wrote started writing reviews, and I was like, yeah, that I agree very
Yeah.
wholeheartedly with that. It just doesn't. It's supposed to have this big Christmas miracle thing at the end, and I just didn't really feel that.
But
magic.
It does in its own way.
Okay, we get it. You like the movie. Anyways, I almost way down there. Give me a second. It's gonna take a second to get down there. Who was it? The Holy Times. Okay, yeah. Okay, 20 out of 100, Los Angeles Times. Jack Matthews. It's 80 minutes of frantic mugging, of silly pratfalls and clown fights, of ideas lifted from other children's movies, design schemes from Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and characters from Toys R Us, all patched together without an innovative stitch of its own.
I mean, they're not 100% wrong.
No, but that was like
That's
there was
mean.
meaner ones.
That whole really
Yeah.
damn.
0 out of 100. Austin Chronicle, unfunny and worse, unpleasant. Jingle All the Way is holiday cheer. From the rapt psyche of a Scrooge, even the Grinch wouldn't like it.
You know, this movie obviously isn't that good. But I feel like it gets crapped on for kind of like no good reason. Because this movie is sweet. There's a genuinity to it. And at the end of the day, it's about a father realizing the neglect he's had to his son and him trying to overcome that. And then, yes, like him, the whole, like the over the top, like slapstickness of it. And then him becoming Turbo Man at the end is like ridiculous. But like, this is a ridiculous story.
I think the biggest, I'm just going to, you know, I think the biggest problem is, yeah, okay, so what you just said, it's like, but the thing is, especially in holiday movies, is that's a really big trope.
Yeah.
Especially in this time. And it just doesn't, there's nothing really innovative about it.
No,
me.
you're right.
And that's why I think a lot of people are like, and again, it's the same
schloppy stuff we've seen again and again and again and again.
Yeah, this is straight to.
It's just like now what it is like. Oh, it's just we're cashing in on Schwarzenegger's name because it's fun. It'll be funny to watch Schwarzenegger be this character.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about too. Like, I remember watching this as a kid, and was kind of meh about it then. This wasn't one of my go-to holiday ones. But I think that I guess my biggest confusion too is I read all the reviews, and I just a lot of them I just didn't really understand
what they were expecting.
Well, yeah, what you were expecting with it, really.
That's really, I mean,
because my partner doesn't like it. Yeah. That's fine. Like,
it's what's interesting is that like
I don't like Elf. Like, that's fine.
That. Yeah, your weird dislike for Will Ferrell.
I like him in some things. I don't like him in other things. I love Stranger Than Fiction. That's one of my favorite movies, and he's in that, and he's wonderful in that. Him walking around screaming.
It's like because I enjoy this movie. I don't think it's like it's not one of my favorites, but like I enjoy it because of the over the top slapstick comedy of it, and I love my Looney Tune-ness, my Looney Tune shit, you know.
I mean, I guess, yeah, and even, like, Sinbad has some really great...
Oh, my God, when he gets... when all of the people in the Mall of America, like, tackle him, and he started screaming Rodney King, I lost my shit. Because that's, like, I did not get that as a kid, for damn sure.
Well, and I liked when he has the bomb, and then ends up being a bomb. And he's like... There's actually a bomb? This world is sick. Yeah. We got some sick people living in here. You know? It's like...
Sinbad's comedic timing is great. And also him turning to Dementor at the end. It's like, it's so ridiculous.
Oh, that was somebody too.
Oh, that was somebody.
He was in But I'm a Cheerleader. The guy he like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, it gets so over the top. Like it's that thing is like, you know, like in like Adventures of Babysitting or anything, is like the next bit has to top the last bit, you know, and the over the top best part is our hero, the ordinary dad, becoming the superhero for his son, and the person that's been antagonizing him the entire time becomes the actual antagonist of the superhero, and then for them to have the conflict at the end. But then the miracle of it all is that little fucking Jake Lloyd, what's Jamie, gives the toy, the special edition toy, to Sinbad's character Myron, and is like, no, I don't need it because I have the real Turbo Man at home. So like, it's like he gives it in this sense of the spirit of Christmas, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't need the toy anymore because he now actually has his father. Yeah.
Be a good dick.
I know you are.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah.
Do you want to hear my breakdown of all the shit that happens in this movie? Of like the journey.
I thought you were gonna do one of your old. Never mind. I don't know what to call it.
All right, so I mean, it's like I'm gonna bullet. It's the bullet points of just like da 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 da.
So not too long.
Yeah. All right, so this is pretty much what happened. This is like this. This is the movie. Can't stop working. Misses karate class.
Oh, my God, this movie's so 90s. That sends me back so hard. That fucking belt ceremony.
Where did you do karate for a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Karate, taekwondo. Yeah, I'm a white dude that was grew up in the 90s. Yeah. A lot of those.
My family couldn't afford it, I guess. Well. Oh, yes. Promises Turbo Man doll. Toy store sold out. Late delivery at the mall. Mall antics. You like that? Mall antics.
He casually assaults a child. It's cool.
Mall Santa Chop Shop. Radio contest on antics. Destroys Phil's house. Parade become Turbo Man. Turbo Man antics. Sinbad becomes Dementor. Kid gives toy in the spirit of Christmas because Dad's Turbo Man.
I wish you had sent me this list, and then I could have gone in with like a sub bullet point, add the pessimistic thing, bomb threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, wacky, but it's like the cynic in me is like, well, yeah, this is fun because it's a Christmas movie. It's like, you're still going to jail. Whether or not you knew it was a bomb, you threatened them with, you threatened a room full of police officers with a bomb. You're going to jail for a minute.
Also, you got it's like the movie, it weirdly slightly establishes the silliness of this world, because like, if there was a real bomb in that thing and it blew up, all those policemen would be dead.
Oh yeah, not the one guy.
Not the one with like a Looney Tunes, like a Wile E. Coyote explosion on his face. Like, this movie doesn't exist in a normal reality. And that's another thing, is like, I think it presents it so much that way that people, when they see, it's presented in much more of a normal reality. So when these like Looney Tune-esque events happen, people get checked out, because you start to like the identity of the movie kind of gets like mingled around. Mingled?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm just really, so just talking about it kind of makes me go back to like what people were thinking when they were watching. And especially, I really don't, I'm not a parent, and I don't really like, I know off the top of my head a couple that has kids, but they're like really young, so I'm not really sure. But what I was getting at is like that whole misconstrued notion of, it's one of those, we should have watched the trailer to kind of get of how they were marketing this, because I know that it had marketing.
Oh yeah, we wanted to do that with the ref last week too. We forgot to.
We got to make that part of the repertoire.
Yeah,
like when we get here, watch it, and then
watch it before we record.
Yeah, just so we know what the market, because I know this kind of went through marketing hell, because it did have a shorter window that they couldn't really, because they wanted to do a toy.
Well,
and they
also
wanted to do,
Columbus he spent a lot of time putting this through test audiences and really like changing, like nitpicking like a lot of things, like truly trying to figure out what audiences were enjoying for the humor.
Well, what I was thinking is that
That makes a little bit of sense too. Think about it. Sorry.
with the hell that is the Christmas season of like people fucking getting into fights and trampled. And so I don't know if
like Black Friday Death Count is a real website.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know if people saw like living at this time, parents that like had been through this thing, then seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is Arnold. I don't know if they really thought it was going to be something maybe a little more in touch with reality of what it actually, it's like now Arnold's going to go in and kick ass and chewing bubble gum, like go in and like be the action star that's going to save the toy for, you know what I mean? I don't know what, but I could kind of see people having this weird idea of what
Schwarzenegger's going to come in and be like, stop the riot and be the hero of the toy store.
Yeah.
And then receive the Turbo Man at the end because of his
coming down
leadership,
coming down from the ceiling with like a beanbag gun and like stopping the toy thieves. I don't know.
Die Hard in a Christmas store.
Yeah, like go to the store. It'll be a good time. Like I don't know.
You know what's really funny is like a lot of people. This is about an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. Is a lot of times like because of his like accent, it's like. I feel like a lot of people do the accent. It's like he's not very smart. Arnold Schwarzenegger's a very intelligent man.
Oh no, it's just it's one of the easiest impressions to do very lazily.
Yeah,
I've heard people nail it.
Oh yeah,
I'm not one of those, but you can do. He has an accent that you could give like the most minimal amount of effort, and people know who you're talking about. You don't have to say words, and people are gonna know.
Oh, Arnold, yeah.
Yeah, no, because also that though in those people's defense, there is that scene in Total Recall where he literally his eyes are popping. He literally does that.
Yeah. He enters the vacuum of space.
Yeah, so it's like not totally crazy, but
this movie,
that's what people do all the time.
Yeah,
it's like the French laugh, the stereotypical French laugh. The Arnold is die, da la la.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is through also like the entire journey of Arnold's character, trying to get this toy, he's also battling with like Phil Hartman's character trying to have sex with his wife, and he's very aware of it. He does not like Phil Hartman's character. Like when he comes over with a reindeer.
Yeah, well, because
that was so fun. He's like, "What are you gonna do with a reindeer afterwards?" Like, "Oh, I'm gonna go release it to the wild. I saw a group of deer over there. I'm gonna release it to the wild. Just
if nature's kind, they might make him part of their own."
And it's like, bro, that's fucking fucked up.
Yeah, you buy this. Well, I'm assuming domesticated reindeer.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, dude, that's fucking privilege at its finest, right there.
That is white suburbia. Right
yeah,
there.
I was like, ugh. And the reindeer chase scene inside when he destroys Phil's house on accident. Also, that's like a very sad low point for him. Like he's gonna go steal another kid's toy, like Christmas present.
Yeah. That's like his arc.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I was just thinking too, because he has Robert Conrad, the cop, who's constantly, but he's always doing something wrong. So it's not like this cop is just persecuting him for the joke. It's like. He happens to be there every time he does something wrong. Mm-hmm. Then you have
also, but really quick, when he backs up onto the cop's like motorcycle, just fucking leave, bro. No one's there. Just get the fuck out of there. Going for a toy.
But isn't that a hit and run now?
It's a parked vehicle. No.
Oh, I thought that's still considered. Like,
no.
You still have to take responsibility for any kind of collision. You can't just take off.
I mean, if it happened, I don't think that maybe parking on the street like that. But I know, like, if you like. Not like I think there's different rules and for parking shit. I don't know.
I know, but that's just, I don't think you need to bounce anyone off your hood. And like I think that it.
No, but you also don't need to fucking like stop and wait for the person.
No, I think.
I mean, it's the kind thing to do.
I always think.
What's more important right now, your son's toy or this fucking bike?
I'm not running over a police motorcycle.
I wouldn't even gone out to see what the fuck it was. I'm like, I need to get my son's toy.
Now it's a hit and run. What was that? Fire hydrant? Sure. Yeah.
Was that a person? No.
You didn't even look. No. Feels different.
I know what a person feels like.
Jesus.
Okay, but you were saying, the cop is always there.
Oh, and then you got Myron, who is they're kind of on the same side.
Well, here's the thing: is like Myron's like, we should team up. Like, let's do this together. And I like instead of being like, but what's going to happen when there's only one toy for who gets it? Like you're saying, let's team up to go find the toy, but.
Well, I mean, I think that with Myron, though, the whole he goes on this fucking rant. And it's cheap little plastic, so you can't even put it back together.
And he starts choking
the fucking woman in the crowd. And I just want to choke him. I just want to. And you're like.
Yeah, I know. And everyone's just kind of like, huh?
And no one does it.
And even the woman's just like, oh.
No one does anything about it.
You shouldn't wear fur.
Yeah, that was like, hey, I wouldn't work with that guy either. You'd be like, But I wonder, that's also a pretty, now a pretty dated joke. The post office.
Oh, yeah.
Post person. Yeah. Which I was like, man, I forgot about that being a thing. I feel like the last...
That was the good 80s, 90s. That was like a decade and a half long.
Well,
longer than that. Maybe kind of 70s, really.
The tail end of that joke, I feel like, in the big blockbusters was Men in Black 2.
Yep.
They're all aliens. That's the last time I really remember being like, oh, that's why they're all weird, is because they're all aliens. For those of you who don't know, that was like a thing. You worked at the post office because you were a weirdo. that was a weird ongoing joke.
There was a reason why the term...
I know.
Don't want me to say it? Going... UPS.
It's called the Postal Service for a reason. But yeah. There's he's don't lose my mail.
he's going what's Arnold's character's name in this?
Harold. I don't know.
Harold.
Is it Howard?
Howard.
Close.
Oh yeah. Also, Rita Wilson at the end when he's in the joke.
Howard.
Howard. Oh. He just. I fear you were on a roll there, and I don't know if that was the end of your thought.
I was just talking about the three villains that he kind of has. I wouldn't really call Sinbad a villain. It's more of just
he could become straight up the villain.
Yeah, but throughout he's the opposition, but he's not they're both just looking for the same thing. Out of everything, then the cops just Ted's really the biggest villain for most of it because the cop's just doing his job.
Hello there. I'm just eating your wife's cookies.
She's in the shower. Want me to go get her? No. Stay out of the shower. It's so fucking hard not to do.
I know.
No disrespect, Mr. Governor. I just really... It's really fun.
Okay.
Mr. Universe.
Yeah, he was Mr. Universe. He posed for Playgirl too, right?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
When Mr. Universe years.
In the...
Yeah.
The big days. The really big days. I guess he's always been huge.
Yeah.
I always like when he holds the gun in Predator. You're like, God damn, you put the gun in there, he could bend it. He's holding it like that. Dutch? Is that anything?
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know what else to really kind of say. I mean, I feel like we could just kind of talk more, but
it's a shallow movie.
Yeah.
But it's a Christmas movie.
It's pretty much a one note. The thing that I think what for me is like I said, it's the Looney Tune part of it that I really enjoy. And I think it is a genuinely sweet movie. It is a father trying, Chris Columbus, or no, I think it was maybe Brian Levant. One of them two, I think it was Brian Levant, really wanted to focus, I saw a story about a father and a son. And the father trying to redeem himself in his son's eyes after messing up. And so he's like, that's what I wanted to really focus on, was really that genuineness of it. Mm-hmm. And I see that. And I appreciate that, actually. But yeah, no, it's overall, the acting is really just over the top and not the best. A lot of the lines feel very forced. Sinbad is probably feels the most genuine, because I think he's just he's improvising most of his goddamn script. It feels like Rodney King.
That's always one of those lines. You're like, yeah, whose idea was that?
Yeah, that was his idea.
Just want to really clarify.
Left it in.
I want to clarify whose idea that was.
And even the scene between Arnold and his kid Jamie they're painful, but this movie's got a nice heart to it, and you can't deny that. What are you farting over there?
No.
Farting on my heart?
No. No, really not. I'm stretching.
Yeah.
Just the chair.
Yeah, I know.
No, I know, but they don't. I'm not sitting here just ripping it. No.
That was my Converses. And now we're just hearing fart noises everywhere.
Oh, we're not going to turn to that. Okay, well, what do you want to give it?
I'd give it like a 2.
Okay, there, perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to meet you at 2.5, but that was going to be really
that good.
compromising.
No, it's like a 2 in all honesty. Like critics-wise, yeah. It's like...
I typed it out. I finally typed out kind of for me the 1 to 5 carat scale on what I fit them in, and this fits into 2.
Yeah.
It's like this is not a great example of a holiday, and specifically, I guess, like a Christmas movie, because that's what this is all about. But have I seen worse? Yeah.
You know what's kind of interesting is that for a movie that is attempting to make a commentary on the consumeristic idea of Christmas, it itself is that.
The embodiment of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the problem, too. I think that this idea had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But it really feels like they lost sight of that, especially with, I get that's the miracle and everything, but that whole end scene when he becomes Turbo Man and there's this weird jetpack superhero fight thing, you're kind of like, all right, now any chance of the adults taking their children sitting there watching this, probably with that jetpack flew out the window.
Yeah.
Because I really do. And again, this is awesome.
It's like at that point, it turned into a kid's movie.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe the adults were really sitting there waiting for the kind of slapsticky moments of the stuff they dealt with and seeing Arnold go through it. And then at that point, it's just like, and it doesn't help because it's the 90s and the design of the costumes and everything. It's straight up just an episode of Power Rangers.
Turbo Man. Yeah.
Yeah. That whole, demon team, and they all come out and they're all the colors of the Power Rangers. Funny enough.
What's really funny is like when they're beating you up, like, don't you know the choreography? What's wrong with you? But you got to think like that's also kind of a really funny moment is him just being forced into. It's also like very sitcom-y,
Well, yeah, but that makes sense from the creator of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 2 is fine. 2 is like. But even a lot of the reviews were saying it, and it is for me very, very forgettable. This movie is very forgettable. It's like
I think for me. I'll never forget it because of Schwarzenegger. Honestly, like, and it's just I don't know. It's just for me. It's just the slapstickness of it like really does stand out. There's a lot of weirdly can be quotable moments, or just like. There's like the interactions with Phil Hartman. All of those are fucking classic. Phil Hartman is amazing in this, in my opinion.
And even Jim Belushi, he has a very small part, but I really like this Santa that is doing it for the children, but he's really just a con artist. Basically. Oh, it's the
but then that entire Santa chop shop sequence is out of another dimension. Just like literally, like there's a person wearing a Santa beard and hat post guard at the gates, and then they go up there and knock knock. What's the password? Jingle bells, Batman smells. And then you come in, and there's all these women dressed as Mrs. Claus. Like everyone's just dressed up as Santa. Like what is happening in this moment?
Well, I thought it was weird, kind of funny too. They're all the same Santa outfit.
Yeah.
When it's like people are professional Santas. Like, that's what they go do. But maybe that's because that's the uniform of this particular Santa organization.
But they all have to dress up when they're working at the like. What is like? Why?
It's a disguise.
It's for who?
For the cops that break in. It's the Grinch scatter.
That was fucking funny.
Like.
Oh
or
man,
the candy taint.
It's like that sequence is probably that. Obviously, the bomb, but like that sequence, I feel like just like takes it is such a weird moment in the movie that's hilarious to me. Because also like all of a sudden they all like there's like ninja Santas and like
with like nunchucks and
like.
Well, it's just that 90s thing too of like when he goes to get the lottery ball and he's like literally trying to pry it out of the girl's mouth and they all kick him out of the.
You pervert!
I'm like, that ain't happening today, man. Like, you got to pull that shit now at a playpen like that. Like, baby, no, that's not happening.
All right, so yeah, 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5 carrots. That's not great. That's always gonna be worse.
But I think it's still a fun watch. It's not a great movie. I think it's a fun watch.
Ooh, that's what we're doing next week.
Claus,
Yeah, Klaus.
the animated one.
Yeah, we just did that because we haven't done an animated one in a while.
Yeah, which you could watch that on Netflix.
I know that is on Netflix.
You
yes.
can watch Jingle All the Way. This on Disney.
Yes, because it's a Fox. It was a Fox property.
Mm-hmm.
They got acquired. So now he's the Disney princess.
Pretty princess I am. Why did I say it like that?
Yeah, that was the worst one yet. Oh yeah, so I know just Klaus is a animated movie. It kind of looks like the origin of
It sounds.
this.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Netflix original that I remember coming out last year or the year before that looked very interesting.
I think it was 2019.
Oh really? Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh wow. Well, COVID times messes with your brain.
The year before COVID.
Yeah, and then COVID times happened, and then it messes with your brain. Okay? Did I stutter? Do I need to turn it up?
For those listening, Tommy just turned up his middle finger to me.
Flip the bird.
All right.
Oh yeah, so like, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell your friends. Give us a listen. Please review. It will help us get out there. We hope you have a happy holiday.
Happy holidays.
And join us next week for a movie that we've never seen.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's true. Yeah.
And an animated one. I'm always excited to check out new animation studios.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys.
So this is Tommy.
This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
I gotta go.
Jacob up. Pampas Wells.
Wrong.